Daniels International is one of the most important disseminators of information about the science of behavior in the broader community of any organization that we have. The thing that is so unique about Aubrey in particular is that Aubrey is truly committed to the science of behavior. And one of the ways that he has envisioned disseminating and supporting the science of behavior is through the Institute. And of course, part of the Institute will be the museum. And the museum is important to behavior analysis and, I think, to the broader community, because it is an archive of how the science has grown and changed, and the things, how we have studied phenomena that have led to the concepts that have in turn been applied in the work that Aubrey Daniels does, the Aubrey Daniels International Organization does, that applied behavior analysts do when they work with children with autism, children with eating problems, eating disorders, and a host of other types of behavioral applications in education and in industry across the board. It's really hard to say what the most unique apparatus in the museum is. There are so many. Some of those items in the museum are really one of a kind. Two come to mind that I find particularly interesting. One is it's a pellet maker that Skinner, of the type that Skinner used in doing his original experiments on the study of reinforcement in rats. It was basically a pill maker that was used by pharmacists to manufacture pills in the 1930s, and Skinner very creatively adapted the device for making little small uniform food pellets that he could deliver to rats. The other device the other apparatus that I find particularly significant, and one that has received a lot of attention in the popular media, is of course the air crib, which Skinner invented in the 1940s as basically a small room for his daughter to sleep in and to be comfortable in what was probably otherwise a very cold apartment in Minneapolis in the wintertime. But these are only two. There are so many that I could talk about. The museum has several other features in addition to Behavior Watch and From the Field and the virtual museum. Two of them that I'll mention are, first of all, book reviews. We are soliciting book reviews from many different people, including people that work at Aubrey Daniels International, but also people from around the country and around the world. These will be book reviews of not only books that are about behavior analysis, but books that come from the culture generally that we feel have some impact and some importance for understanding behavior, and that can either be interpreted in terms of behavioral language and behavioral concepts, or have relevance to the work that we do, but are not things that we're necessarily researching at the moment. The second feature that I'll mention is the fact that each of these sections that I've mentioned already have the allow the opportunity for people to interact with the Institute, with the people that are writing items for the Institute, by making comments and getting responses to the comments. So it will be, I hope that it will be a forum for discussion, as well as a forum for providing information to people. I'll mention a third feature as well. The third feature is the timeline, which will be part of the museum. It's going to be a living timeline, because it's going to take not only items from the museum, but look more generally at important events in the history of behavior analysis and one can click on these events and learn more about about a particular experiment or a particular seminal event that happened in the history of behavior analysis, and there will be connections from that event to other events and also to material in the museum and in the website more generally that might relate back to these historically important events in behavior analysis. Well, for me, it's a very unique opportunity. I have been a basic scientist in behavior analysis for my entire career. I'm very interested in the applications of behavior analysis. I have done a little bit of work in that area, but not much. However, I have a firm grounding and a firm commitment to behavior analysis as a way of making significant changes in the way that people live their lives and in people's lives. This is an opportunity for me to put the pedal to the metal, as it were, and really expand my own worldview and my own way of thinking about things, and taking some of the concepts that I've learned about and try to translate them and make them relevant for people in their everyday lives.